Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the webinar series, The Power of Sourcing 2024. And we're slowly creeping towards the end. But the good thing is the content is still as good as when we started. My name is Adrian Kolf, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Matcher. And most importantly, I will be your host today. If you are watching this live, please type in the chat where you're from. Share your LinkedIn, share your LinkedIn link so others can connect with you. And if you haven't already, please follow us on YouTube and follow us on LinkedIn as well. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter to stay up to date of the latest that's going on within Matcher. Now, before I announce our next speaker, let me tell you a little bit more about what we do with Matcher. Because with Matcher, we provide embedded talent consultancy services to startups, scale-ups, and corporates, whereby we are a flexible sourcing and recruitment partner to companies like TikTok, Booking, Stripe, Revolut, Miro, but also larger companies like Eneco or ABN AMRO, and we're on the final conversation with Heineken. Our sourcers and recruiters work fully embedded into our clients' teams. So if you need any flexible sourcing or recruitment support, please let us know because we would love to hear from you. And as a bonus, we also offer sourcing workshops, whereby we've trained a variety of different sourcing and recruitment teams. So if that's something that you will be interested in, please reach out to us. Now, I'm very excited to announce our next speaker, our first speaker ever to speak at our webinar series from Finland. Her name is pronounced as Ludmila, and I'm butchering this a little bit, but I'm allowed to call her Lumi. So please welcome on stage Ludmila Tomperi, the Senior Global Talent Partner.
Hello, and thank you for the introduction.
Yes, hi Lumi, great to have you. And I'm always amazed how relatively small Finland is as a country. I mean, I'm from the Netherlands, right? And the Netherlands is small, but Finland is definitely one size smaller than we are. But the amount of incredible recruitment professionals that come from Finland. Do you have any logical explanation why that is?
We are concentrated, it's like concentrated juice. It's less of us, but we're really good.
Yeah. And there's a pretty well-established and impactful tech scene as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely. I think Finnish university is actually one of the best as well if we're talking in the Nordic regions. They have really good quality engineers coming out.
Yeah. No.
And lots of innovation.
And what's the name of the biggest conference in tech again that's happening every year in Finland? Lush, exactly. Yeah. I still have to go there, but many people I've spoken to say it's the best conference of the year.
Well, the name is coming usually from the weather conditions, so be aware when you're coming.
Because it's in January, February, in the midst of...
Usually it's end of November, December, so it's quite slushy.
Yeah. Okay, but still worth to go, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Lumi, if you could have one superpower in your recruitment capabilities, what would it be?
Reading minds.
Reading minds. Oh my goodness, that is a great super skill. Wouldn't we wish all that we could read our candidates' minds? What are they thinking? Or our hiring
stakeholders, hiring managers. I'm not sure if I want to know everything that candidates are thinking.
Yeah, but it would definitely help with, hey, is this salary the right salary? Is this person really interested in our company, right?
That's a good point. Actually, this is a little bit touching the topic I will be speaking about today. Yeah. So I think like reading mind and the feelings or emotional intelligence is coming from the plus minus same corner. We are in a way trying to read other people. So I'm touching that point, whether we don't get the superpower, but we can learn it.
Great. Well, I can't wait. Before I'm going to give you the stage, I really want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Deal. And without them, this webinar series wouldn't be possible. We have a strong partnership and cooperation with Deal. And let's take a minute to show the video that explains what they do.
Sounds great.
Work's gone global, but until now, no HR platform has been able to handle everything for everyone. Some teams have to use up to 16 different tools to make things work. Deal's the future of global HR, and it's the only platform that works for your team wherever they are, whatever their status. Easily handle international hiring, payroll, and HR with one powerful platform. Hire contractors and employees worldwide, even if you don't own an entity. Once you find a candidate, onboard them with a localized contract and a visa if needed. We even provide powerful salary insights so you can be sure your offer's competitive, and we'll automatically collect any necessary compliance documents. Get your team set up fast with built-in background checks, equipment, WeWork passes, and effortless app access. Then manage the entire worker lifecycle through one central HR platform designed with global teams in mind. Plus, handle time off, promotions, and bonuses all in a few clicks. Deal integrates with any tool to help keep your data and workflows synced. You'll get a first-of-its-kind worldview of your entire team's headcount, payroll, and productivity in one place. On payday, consolidate payroll for contractors, international, and local employees. We'll take care of the contractor invoicing, plus employee taxes, benefits, pay slips, and more. Deal has everything you need to run a global team efficiently, and it's the only platform built for everyone and everything, everywhere. Learn how Deal can simplify your global team needs at deal.com.
Yes, thank you, Deal. All right, Lumi, are you ready? Because the floor is yours. And if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. We'll collect all the answers at the end of the presentation, and then we'll have a Q&A.
Hello. First of all, the music is super catchy. I hope you're dancing with me. I have to say, was listening and watching the Deal commercial. I don't get paid, by the way. I'm absolutely on the different side here, but was working with the Deal for 2.5 years. And I have to say, we hired quite great global talents, and it was much, much easier than establishing the entity. Great. So as we talk today, as Adrian asked me about the superpowers, we will touch a little bit, as I believe, the superpowers, and we will talk about the hot topic of a year or 2 years recently. A little bit about me. So I'm in the TA for about 8 years. Mostly it has been in the tech. I'm one of those people who do truly believe in humanity and in the power of emotional intelligence. I absolutely think that AI and all the tools are amazing, that they're there to complement us human beings. And I do not believe that we will be replaced. I might be one of those people that others call that I'm being too optimistic, but I still believe that human touch and humanity is something that is pretty difficult to replace, and it is a superpower. And this is a superpower that we can learn, we can teach each other, but it's a little bit harder to teach artificial intelligence when it comes to the codes and when it comes to the some machine or some AI doing the work for us. I'm running here a small community in Helsinki. Well, small, I think, as it was mentioned, here in Finland, it's small but wide and nice. And if you want to join us, please welcome. We are just talking about the topics that in our minds, we're helping each other. So if you want to jump in, go ahead. We are quite welcome for international talents and the online community as well. And not to stop, but just jumping further, what I'm talking today about and what I want to share with you today. As you can see, there are a lot of talks, and AI has been evolving really rapidly. Since the moment that ChatGPT became the boom, it took just a couple of weeks when it became top top on the newspapers, tops on the newsletters. Everyone are talking about it. There is not even a one day from LinkedIn feed or any other feed where I see some discussions about AI. And there are a lot of discussions about the AI in TA or AI in HR. So preparing for this talk, I have been reading and looking through a lot of reports, including LinkedIn report, including the McKinsey reports, which are the most popular ones. I have to say that I read through quite few newsletters that Hangli and Jan has been putting together. They do talk a lot about AI and empowers. What else has been concerning for me, what I have noticed, when I go to the social media, when I go to the topics where people discussing, very often I see a lot of advices into how to beat AI, how to 101 suggestions and implementation, how you can beat a robot and AI and to get hired. And just all this mystification and all this mysterious, it feels that they might be misleading. Why I think so? They might be misleading for people who are looking for a job, and they might be misleading for recruiters, and especially for those who do not have a long history of employment in that field or experience, or for those who hasn't been really using tools, that they haven't had the luxury of using tools. Then it comes for this an anxiety feeling. What AI is there? How do we use it? Why do we use it? And that's pretty much became the base of our today discussion. And please feel free to put comments and the questions. I want to engage you into the conversation. This is absolutely my point of view, and I'm very welcoming those who think opposite or alike. I'm very into jumping into the discussion and get the good arguments. So as we can see on the reports, AI actually became a powerful tool across many professions, and especially through the TA. What AI can do, and we'll go further through the details, it can actually automate and speed up many processes for us. Those routine processes that we have been working on, like scheduling, writing scorecards or amazing tools, even making the videos or creating the videos. There is a first AI recruiter that does the work. So there are a lot of different things that can be done through AI. And I'm one of those people that for a long time was actually, I wouldn't say I was denying AI. I was using the ChatGPT from the first steps, but I was also quite concerned of the products that was coming from the ChatGPT or from other tools. I was really concerned from the results and the quality. I might be a control freak a little bit when it comes to the quality and what actually coming from my name, but it took some time to realize that there are already a lot of tools that I have been using even without realizing that I'm using AI. ATS systems have been using AI implemented in. LinkedIn had been using AI implemented in. So I have been using it without thinking. And that's exactly what we want to avoid. We want to use the tools with the thoughts behind. But what I want to highlight, AI is a tool. This is something that created. It's really smart. A lot of data in, a lot of data out. It's very speedy. It brings a lot of clarity in many subjects. It supports us, but it doesn't have feelings. As any computer, as any code, as any machine learning schema, it doesn't have the feelings behind. It doesn't have our knowledge. We can share, we can teach it, we can write the prompts for our knowledge, but we cannot teach it feeling. When it comes to the TA, when it comes to the engagement with the stakeholders, engagement with the candidates, there is a lot behind the scenes. There is a lot that you cannot really give to the computer and code to do or learn. The body language you can teach. You can create the video, it will learn, it will stimulate it, it will simulate the eye contact. You cannot really build a rapport. You cannot really build this feeling presence. To some extent, AI already went to the point But without the support of the human being or the control or learning from human being, AI is still not there. It pretends, but it pretends well, but it still pretends. It doesn't have the skills to feel people, to build relationships, whether it's the stakeholders, whether it's the candidates. How I see the future, I see the future as a synergy. It's absolutely something that we need to know, something we need to use, and we need to use for better. AI impact, and this is the reports at the end of the presentation you will see, or like if we share the presentation, there are references so you can go through the reports and through the articles I have used for this presentation yourself. So as we can see, actually AI is not so widely used yet in many of the different areas of the business. As you can see, HR and TA is one of those that are not actively using it just yet. We're still making our baby steps. We're still at the beginning of the journey. And there is a reason for that. Because as a TA and HR specialist, we are actually using a lot of sensitive data. And this sensitive data is something that we can concern when it comes to the AI. Is it safe? How it can be used? Why it can be used? But as you can see, again, this is only beginning of journey. Where we will be in 5 years, these numbers probably will change. They change pretty much only within 1 year, and it's changing really fast. AI actually, as I mentioned, it's already used, at least in my work, almost on the daily, not almost, already there on daily. There are ATS that have AI, there are chat boxes that are talking with the candidates. There are chat boxes probably in some companies that are supporting hiring managers and the stakeholders navigating, depends on the size of the company. You can see the report of the Ashby that the outreach with the AI tool that has been actually showing quite great competence or showing quite great percentage of the response rate. The job description, that one of the top that most of the TA specialists, I'm one of those. I'm not a big fan of writing the job descriptions. I do it. I do it, I hope well, but it's definitely one of those that if someone does it for me, I'm pretty happy about it. So AI is one of the areas where we can use for creative writing, for writing the outreach. But that's where is also concern comes from. When we all use the same tools, how personalized they're coming, or how well written outreach will become. It will be amazing, but everybody will receive them plus minus same outreach. Where else we're using it? Interview platforms. There are already a lot of interview platforms. Scorecards automation, that's another amazing area where the AI can be used. And that actually leaves us a space. And again, this is according to the LinkedIn Future of Recruiting report, shows that the area that many TA professionals feel that once they give away their routine tasks or once they free the time, they can actually put more effort in other aspects, something closer to candidates, closer to the stakeholders, understanding the data better, processing the data together with AI, but actually making decisions, actually becoming more strategic, building relationships, building the rapport, building this networking. So once all the activities that are routine, something that can be automated, taken away, this is something that free more time and space for us, that we can spend the time on something different, something that we like more. Even sourcing, that can be the creative tool. Once you free more time, you actually have more time to do sourcing if you really enjoy it. So the value proposal 1.0, and I will come back to it why it's first stage. At the end of presentation, you will see the proposal when it comes together with emotional intelligence. But AI is definitely something that goes hand in hand. at least to my belief, in talent acquisition profession and in HR profession. These are the areas where we can actually create it more operational proficiency and efficiency, where the decision making can be more strategic, where we can pull the data. AI is amazing that it can pull the data from so many sources. That's a place where actually helps us to get the knowledge on the tips of our fingertips and using it for better. This is actually the area where we can make the candidates feeling as welcome as it can be, to ensure that the whole journey is there, that AI can assist us into scheduling, in doing follow-ups, in creating the emails that actually will keep them engaged and actually checking on them, the chat box, something that the candidates will not have to wait for the long time to answer, something where they can feel that someone taking care of them. So AI is amazing assistant. But with a great power comes a great responsibilities. Did I said it right? Those who know, those who understand. But with AI, as it is, there are risks are coming. I always talk about the data, that data is very powerful tool. And for me, AI is majority about the data, about the inputs that you're putting to teach AI, to teach machine learning schemes, algorithms, and all of that. This is about the data that you put in. And as with any data, it depends how you use it. And it depends on the quality of the data. If we put the bad data in, we get the bad results out. And we have to remember that. There is always a risk. And as we know that we are, as human beings, we're biased. That's just the way that our brain is built. This is a psychological aspect that has been proven. And this is something what we are learning. That's what we're teaching others, how to avoid biases. When it comes to AI, this is the same. It's in a way treated as a human brain. That's also bias. Just because it has been built by human beings, AI also makes mistakes. Input data, output data. More inaccurate data or more noisy data in, the more inaccurate and noisy data out. And we have to remember that. And this is about the accountability. AI is a tool. This is a tool, and this is up to us how to use it. And coming back to the conversation that I mentioned at the beginning of my talk, there are a lot of conversations and a lot of advices in the social media, all over internet, that there are no human beings that are screening your CVs. We're helping you. I will teach you how to get through the ATS robot automatic answer. Write the hashtag hire me in white. We all know it's not working this way. There is always a human behind. What we can do, we can set up the filters. What we can do, we can set up pre-screening criteria. But there is no such tool that just rejecting people and then you will get hired because there is a hashtag hire me within and you crack the whole AI. That's not about it. The risks are there. Again, the disengagement. When we are writing outreach and we are writing it with ChatGPT or any other AI tool, I'm pretty sure most of us understand or get the feeling or sense when the text is actually written not by a human, just by the language it's using, by the wording, by the commas, feelings, the words that are used probably in the Shakespeare, not in everyday life. That also gives the impression, if previously we are writing or sourcing, we're sending the outreach to the candidates and the outreach plus minus the same, we already were getting the feedback that it's not personalized, that you're not sending it to me. Now we're personalizing it with AI, but it's personalized with AI, which meaning the, again, input, output, all the personalized messages will be plus minus the same because we all using plus minus same tools. And it's becoming not that personalized at the end. And for the candidates, if you're using it with the stakeholders, it's losing as well the human touch. So it's becoming a process, might be fast, might be proficient, but you're getting disengaged. Still, in the reality, when we're all working in the remote settings, when the computers are our best friends, we're getting used to that. We're having all the conversations through the cell phones, robots, AI, and all of that. But from the human brain and psychology aspect, we do need this understanding from another human. We do need this attachment. We do need this rapport, the trust. This is how, when we're talking about the candidate journey, we engage the candidates, and even if they fail through the process, even if it doesn't work this time, that encourages them to come back to the company, or to come back to you as a TA professional, because they know that you're a human being, you're the one who understands them, you're the one who is working with them. There is amazing report, or more a playbook, about the AI and the data in AI. Again, it's as well in the references. Feel free to read through. I found it quite nice and quite insightful. There are other aspects with AI. There are about the legal and ethical considerations. Of course, it's already a different generation of AI. There have been a lot of proofs or like white hackers who have checked the bags that the information doesn't get through or the information doesn't get leaked. But there are still the different ways of getting this information out. So that's again, there is always a risk. Once the information somewhere, once it's processed by AI, there are a lot of security alerts, or there are a lot of security consequences coming. Like, a lot of companies do not allow to use, for example, scorecard writing, optimization, or AI, because it needs to get access to the calendars, it needs to get access to the Gmail suite or G Suite in general, and that's where a company already have a lot of information. So there are still a lot of concerns about AI tools. There are no such AI tools at 100% safe AI tool. They have different risk levels. They have minimum risk level, medium, or major risk level, but they all have the risk level. That's also something to remember there. If you're interested in learning how to work with AI prompts, or to understand how the AI works in general, there is really great game. I think it's called Gandalf. So it has 7 levels, and you can actually see how the AI learning, it has a task that you shall not pass, but you're the one who should get the password from Gandalf and pass through. And you can see how it's evolving. But even with a stage 7, when it's supposed to be already very well learned that you cannot trick it, you can still trick it and get the password. Once again, there are lower risks AI that learned more, but there are still risks. What we need to remember is about ethics and responsible use of the AI tools. So my suggestion there, again, when we're talking about the data privacy, is just to remember the GDPR and definitely be GDPR compliant, store the data appropriate way, do not share it. Again, ATS using AI, but most of ATSs that companies are using, they are GDPR compliant, so it should be safe. AI bias, again, the data in, the same data out. Human are biased, AI is biased as well. It depends on the filters you put in. So sometimes it might, that the matching of AI, for example, if you're using it for the CV screening or CV matching, it will filter by the filters you suggest or the tags. And you might just not see the candidates that are great, but they do not fit exactly to the box. If you're willing to take this risk, this is a choice of you. Accountability on the bottom of this page. The human behind AI, the human behind the tool, decides what the risks and decides what risks they're ready to take. What we can do when it comes about the biases, we can educate ourselves and we can educate other people around us. So we can be advocates, we can raise the voice, we can talk about it, we can teach others, we can mitigate it, and hopefully teach AI as well to be less biased. There is as well danger, or people are worried about AI replacing people. Again, I do not believe it's about replacing. I believe into upskilling. I believe that once we're going towards with the time, once we're learning tools, we're using them, we're as well evolving. It's not about not to use a knife when we invented the knife. It's about how to use it right and not to break the nuts with it. Let's put it in more simple examples. So it's about AI. It's not just to use it for, I don't know, discussing. I have done it as well, discussing my evening with a ChatGPT. How are you doing today? I feel lonely, and it gives me suggestions that it feels sorry for me and where I should call, but more using it as a tool through our work life and how to improve the TA and HR as well. Transparency, again, I'm absolute advocate for the transparency there. And when we're using AI, being transparent about it, not lying. If someone tells you exactly that your message has been read and not by you, you can absolutely say that, yes, of course, I took the support. I can tell you that actually preparing this presentation, I have extensively used different tools to see how they will apply and have changed them as well within creating the presentation. That's again about taking accountability, but the results of that are mine and they're on me. They're my choice of wording, my choice of using it, but I'm using the tool and I'm learning to use a tool to work with it. So AI doesn't replace our creativity and humanity. It empowers it. One thing that I still feel is a danger, our brain lazy. So once there is something becoming very common and easy to do with the tools, we're losing this ability or we don't find it necessary to do that. So my advice there, do not rely on AI 100% and actually use your skills, use your everyday skills, use your communication, creativity skills, not to lag behind. I can see actually my presentation didn't download it the proper way. The emotional intelligence was supposed to pop up to give you a good comparison with the numbers that were found by the LinkedIn talent report. But now we're talking about the emotional intelligence and the soft skills, or how I like to call them, power skills. Actually, that has been researched and said that how many professionals in HR and talent acquisition see what will be the most needed and most crucial within the next 5 years in industry. It's actually about the communication, relationship building, adaptability, problem solving, and critical thinking. As you can see, emotional intelligence covers many of these aspects or the big part of that. So when we're taking, or when we have AI and in the times of AI, when there are a lot of routine tasks can be done by the machine or can be replaced, there are things that cannot be replaced. And this is where we are as professionals can step in and take our place. How we communicate, and when it comes to the global teams, the communication is crucial. When it comes to the cross-functional teams, when it comes to the stakeholders, personalized, definitely very human touch, rapport building, coaching and mentorship are very great buildings and networking, resilience, adaptability, all of that is something that AI cannot really learn or show, but we as a human being, we can learn. If we don't have them, we can train these power skills, we can learn them, we can educate others. Problem solving and critical thinking. AI actually benefits from us because the way we think, the way our brain evolves, the way we solving the problems, AI learning from us how we do that. So AI actually becoming greater and better based on how we do that. So power skills and how future looks like. Actually, according to the same LinkedIn report or LinkedIn research, there have been the observation that on top of everything, the number one where they see, or like many professionals in our field see the focus for the next 3, 4, 5 years is actually the measure of the quality of the hire. That's not an easy one. There have been a lot of battles along this subject as well. How do we measure it? What we can do, we can actually ensure the great processes, we can build the processes, we can talk with the stakeholders. That's yes and no. There are a lot of things that what we can do. Again, once we have a great relationships with the stakeholders, with the teams, with the business, as a business partners, as a talent acquisition, HR, once we have a greater understanding what business needs, we see the bigger picture. It's more about the holistic overview. It's something that we can, it's not about the prediction. It's more about understanding the team fit or the cultural fit. It's not even about the fit. It's more about the ad. When you see the team dynamics, when you understand these emotions, when you understand how people work with each other, when you have this power of emotional intelligence, when you see the different aspects, you're actually able to hire the people that will complement the team and will help the team to evolve to the next stage. And you can see that actually very often those relationships that you build with the stakeholders, when you build the whole processes of the hiring, when you build a relationship with the candidate, you can very clearly see how they will proceed with onboarding and how successful they will be within the team. Of course, there is a crucial part about the team, about the manager of the team, about the onboarding, how the candidate comes, how the new hire joins the team. There is a big part which we cannot really affect. But what we can affect, we can see other pitfalls or other risk management. We can predict in the candidates. We can predict which risks can be in which candidates, and they can be avoided or they can be coached to the hiring manager or to the managers that you have such candidate coming into the team. Pay attention more. So we are becoming the partners, and we are, as a partner, supporting the leadership and the manager to onboard these new talents within their place when they're hiring. So we are actually ensuring this onboarding to become more smooth and for the greater hire and for the longer hire. Again, this is a bit controversial topic, but I personally believe that's the area for all of us as well to grow more into, that we're not only focusing on one area, but we actually see the bigger picture, how our actions impacted in the longer term and how it can contribute into the team and into the business on the long run. So being more strategic thinking and more strategic partnership. And how I see the journey of us as people, as a talent acquisition, and as AI, it's always about the continuous learning. It's something about understanding that it's there, that it's already there, and do not deny it. We need to learn those tools, understand which skills we have, what we can complement by AI, and also what emotional intelligence skills we do have already, what we don't have yet, understand strategically what we need to focus first, what is more crucial, how to move forward with it, implementing it, see how it's working, measuring. Once again, I'm quite geeky. I have been too long in tech. Collect the data, how it has been worked, how did it affected your work, how did it affected the numbers, how did it affected the satisfaction, implement fully all the tools you can use, all the tricks, all the techniques, all the emotional intelligence, everything that you learn, all about how the human brain is working, psychology, anything that can help you there, and monitor in the future what helps in the different subjects or in the different aspects and the different areas. We're coming closer to the conclusion, so we will have a lot of time to discuss. And personal belief, and why I called it the balancing bytes and emotions. We are living in the world where we live alongside with AI, alongside with the computers, machines, and they're our co-pilots. They're the ones who are supporting us. They're our assistants, and that's great to use this. And that's great not only for us, but it's also great for people we're working with. So the candidate experience can absolutely improve from us using the AI tools on the greater manner. Better scheduling, faster scheduling, support through the process, better satisfaction. The candidates are coming back, as I highlighted before. Always the great experience from the recruitment process. It's always about, I wouldn't say it's always traumatic experience, but it can be quite hard for many people who don't do it for day-to-day life. So in our power, together with AI, actually, to make the candidate experience as smooth as possible. Improve decision-making. AI is our tool absolutely to analyze the data, to use the data more. And I cannot stop repeating the data, but that's exactly what we can do. We can do our decisions. We can advise our partners. We can advise our stakeholders in what we can do better and how we can do better. And together with tools and together with our critical thinking, we can make the absolutely Powerpuff team there. And that also leads exactly to the effective talent acquisition, that we can balance the tools, we can balance our knowledge, we can balance our experience and the human touch. We can use it for the candidate experience with a stakeholder, for the teams, for the businesses. We are partners on this field, and that's from the effective work, from the work that we are doing. That's how we can achieve that as well. And that's why my proposition in 2.0 includes more of the emotional intelligence, or like human touch in there. That, repeating myself again, that it's all about the tool, how we use it and where we use it, but we are the one who are taking accountability, and we are the one who are bringing the human touch in there. No one really like to receive very dry messages, which seems are being sent by the computer. It's in our power to actually revisit and see which language is used, which is more appropriate. It's in our power to use a better language when it comes to diversity and inclusion. It's in our power actually to educate others how to use that as well better. So to conclude and open the floor for the questions, and I hope for discussions, let's lead with curiosity, innovate with purpose, support emotional intelligence and humanity, and shape the future together. I was on time. I can't hear you for some reason.
Lumi, here we are. Yes, great presentation, very structured, very clear thought process of what you've taken me and our listeners and our viewers today. So thank you so much. There is one question from Nelly in the chat. Do you think whether a time will come when AI is making decisions instead of us in TA, other than CV screening and more or less simple task?
I think, as it was said, I do not believe it. There was already, if I'm not mistaken, there by Google, there was a simulator that you create the filters, and it screens the CV by filters, and it was giving to you the results who you actually rejected. And there were great minds, like the Bill Gates was rejected by this simulation and stuff like that. So right now, AI cannot be taught, or there is no enough metrics, or there are not enough data for it. It still has either black or white. It doesn't really get that the algorithms are not advanced enough. It might get there if we educate it well. But again, I'm sorry to say, I may be one of those a bit pessimistic people on the side. There was also studies about the IQ of AI, that since it became publicly available and people started to use it more, IQ of AI went down a little bit. So again, the data, it's all about the data. What we put in, that's what we get out. I think our job's secure.
And given, I mean, this power that we have in our hands, right? Would you, if you would hire people on your team, would you now look for different skills than maybe that you would otherwise hire for?
That's really great question. I think in my personal values and beliefs, the team wouldn't change that much, because I always open for the opportunities. And in my mind, the team should be very varied, that there should be different people in the team. But the top skill is about learning. Like, I personally believe when it comes to the TA, sourcing, especially recruiting, it's all about your curiosity and your willingness to learn fast and to move forward fast. That's the same about AI.
Yeah.
So short answer, probably the team would be exactly the same, maybe a bit more advanced into the AI.
Yeah. No, interesting, right? And it's an ongoing discussion that we also have internally in our team. And as much, I was at a big HR tech conference or HR conference in Vegas, 5,000 people, a lot of talks on AI, but still the real practical implications of taking over many of the tasks that we do on a day-to-day, it wasn't there yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And interesting question for us. I'm curious how you feel about that. Would you mind being interviewed by AI?
I think I love experiments, so I would love to try to go through and see results between the AI and human.
Yeah.
But that would be more as A/B testing. I would be actually curious to see how the results are different.
Interesting.
But like, if really applying for a job, I think I still believe in this, that something that you build the human connections, that sometimes you still get that. Then again, that's about the bias. We're still building the bias as what we like in the person we're talking to or we don't like. That's a good question. I think I will be taking it with me.
Right? It's something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also don't have the definite answer, because on the one hand, you can argue, what if you are an AI right now, right? And I have zero thought or zero knowledge. Yeah, exactly. I have zero knowledge. I have zero knowledge that you are AI, and we have this really good conversation, only for me to find out later that I'm talking to your avatar.
But that would be exactly the question for you. If you find out later, how do you feel about it?
I would feel
actually, you would feel cheated. But if someone will tell you beforehand that you will be talking to AI, you will feel different.
I would feel different, but would I be open to share and really open up about myself? Question mark. And thirdly, how would I feel about the company? Right now, because I've never experienced it, right now, I would feel that it's not a personal company, not something that I would feel connected with. I would definitely hamper my candidate experience. On the other hand, I could also argue, at least I would get the same fair assessment as everyone else in the interview process.
Actually, to put thoughts on that, as for now, sometimes companies have a choice for the candidates. Would you like to go with assessment first, or would you like to speak for a real human? would you like to speak with AI or would you like to speak with a real human?
Yeah.
Then in that sense, you cover more people, for those who would want to speak with a real person and for those who actually want to avoid a human being.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where the story is going to take us. And again, right, when I say not biased, but how do we know that it's not biased, right? The famous Amazon, when they try to go through their large volume of applicants, is that the AI that they ran selected white male candidates because the majority of managers were white male candidates. So the AI, based on the historical data, thought, hey, these are the people that are successful in that role. Yeah.
I think another example what used in sourcing, once Google started to use a prediction, it became quite difficult to source people. So a lot of sourcers moved to the Bing or to another search engines because it has a different algorithms.
Yeah. No, fascinating. We can talk about the subject for hours. So let's see where the future is going to take us. Nelly is definitely a strong advocate of talking to humans. So that's where she stands. Lumi, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
LinkedIn, probably the best.
Yeah, great.
Send me a message. Always happy. I have been trying to kick off my own Instagram, but I started to get carried away with AI too much. So I just got swamped in.
Great. Hey, and for our Finnish audience, when are you doing the next TA Cafe?
That's a really good question. We have been trying to arrange something in April now, so stay tuned and hopefully something online as well.
Awesome. Lumi, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much for your presentation. If you want to connect with Lumi, please connect with her on LinkedIn, and then I'll announce the next speaker.
Thank you so much. It was really nice being here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. Right on the clock and on the hour. Please connect with Lumi on LinkedIn. If you haven't already, please follow us on Matcher on LinkedIn and on YouTube. And definitely stay tuned for next week's session, because next week we're going to have Pierrette Lutz, the Global Head of Talent, Analytics, Sourcing, and Research at Nortal. She's a very experienced talent acquisition / sourcing professional, and she will go deep on analytics and research. So connect with us on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Subscribe to our newsletter so you can stay up to date of the latest and greatest of Matcher. And I hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching.